All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Oil Stream. Dusty and Tommy Gazzola with you. Game day, game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Oilers and Panthers tonight. Looking forward to this one. Oil Stream, as always, presented to you by Boston Pizza, where the playoff menu continues, featuring the halftime square footer flight of wings, triple play platter, and the new Chipotle chicken quesadillas. Fuel your fandom at Boston Pizza. Rod Z says, how does one get an EST hoodie? Great question, Rod Z. Hey, Maddie, we got any hoodies left? Oh, he's on his phone with somebody.
He's on his phone.
Usually I can just yell down the hallway. That's how we get it.
You've been yelling down the hallway all day today. Welcome back.
Yeah, well, it's good to be back, man.
Good to have you back.
Have I been yelling down the hallway too much today?
Well, you yelled at Matty earlier about his ridiculous prediction.
Well, I mean, stop being an idiot.
It's dumb, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him to shut up eventually.
Yeah, that's not good. Rod, if you go to... Is the shop not up right now?
It should be up. I think
I don't see it anywhere.
Although Matty said we are, like, people have been buying stuff, which has been great. We're running low, so maybe
oh, no, it's over on the side. If you go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com and then click on the little plus, that'll bring up another list of options. We got a lot of stuff along the top there right now. And shop EST. There's a few hoodies kicking around still. Not many. Gonna have to move quick, but they're going for $64.99 plus GST, which is pretty good for a hoodie nowadays. Hoodie. It's a wonderful hoodie.
It feels good.
Very nice hoodie. So yeah, if you want to get those, hop online, EdmontonSportsTalk.com/shop-EST/ I guess you can also go there. All right, if you are watching over on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up and tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. We would certainly appreciate that. Also, if you would like to bet on the game tonight, Coolbet.com is where you can do it. EST exclusives already up. McDavid over 1.5 points. Hyman goal. Oilers win. Plus 475. Find that in the exclusives tab. It's on the right side of the page over at Coolbet.com. Patrick Hamos? Patrick Hamos. Is that a sexy thing?
Oh, he's on the phone.
Is that? Hey, are you still on the phone?
He's drinking too.
Who are you talking to?
We're doing a test for the golf show for next week with the guest from
Oh, okay. We got some hoodies left?
only a couple of large.
Okay, we got a couple of large hoodies left, Rodsy, so hopefully you're a large size man. Mind you, if you regularly wear mediums, the large fit you okay, I think. What size are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a medium, and like I could do a large, but I like tighter fitting.
Yeah.
And if you get a large, but you think a medium would be more ideal, you can always put it in the dryer and it shrinks it a bit.
Oh, great idea, Tommy. Yeah, the dryer shrinking thing.
It works.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I got two new T-shirts the other day.
Yeah.
And they're both too big.
You shrink
and I guess I could shrink them in the dryer.
Yes.
Great idea.
High heat.
You always got the good ideas.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, let's not get carried away.
Hey, it was fun working with you on Saturday, too.
Yeah, thanks. I see Rob C says, Tom, Dustin, great job, you two, on Saturday. Thanks, Rob C. We appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a really good job. I shouldn't be impressed with you because I've known you forever and we work together all the time. Yeah. But I thought you were very smooth on the sidelines on Saturday, buddy. A very good performance.
Thank you.
Put some of that stuff on a demo tape. I like it. That was good stuff.
You know what? Just call my agent. That's me.
You don't have an agent, do you? I was going to say. I don't have an agent either. I've had people sometimes be like, "Do you have an agent?" I was like, "No, I don't have an agent.
No.
I just take what people give me and hope it's fair value." I don't know if that's how it works or not.
Know.
Whatever.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, if you're watching over on YouTube, hammer a thumbs up today. Boy, we got a lot to discuss on the Oil Stream presented to you by Boston Pizza. Where do we start? Well, there's lots to get to from today, but let's just go back. Sure. Let's go back to the last game, Tommy. You briefly brought it up with you on the lock shop when you were sitting next to me there, but what would you describe the overall vibe of the text line and the nasty chat post game 1?
Post game 1 vibe was. There wasn't a lot of panic. It was obviously unhappy, but there was also a comprehension of how that game probably was one Edmonton should have won. And Connor McDavid, of all people, actually made a good point, and he goes, you know what? Sometimes the hockey gods, we probably shouldn't have won Game 6 against Dallas.
Yeah, true enough.
And maybe we should have won. That's how he summed it up. I'm paraphrasing, but that's a good point. The way Edmonton played, and I brought it up on the Hangout a little bit to compare it to, remember we were in Vegas for the game coming out of the All-Star break, and Edmonton played a really solid game. just couldn't get that second goal. Vegas managed to get it, and it was a really close win for the Golden Knights. But Edmonton was the better team. Now we'll see how they bounce back. And I know Ray Ferraro and you guys were talking about it on the Nielsen show this morning, that there is discussion that was the Florida Panthers' worst game in a while. Okay.
But I thought the Oilers had a lot to do with that. Like, I don't think the Oilers looked good because the Panthers sucked.
No.
I thought the Oilers looked good because they dictated what the Panthers did and didn't do.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe that's a homer take, but I don't think that was. I don't think that was the case.
Played a good game. Like, were the Panthers bad? I just think that Edmonton was pressing and pressing and pressing, and whenever they got to Bobrovsky had a great game. He had a great game, and then there was, obviously the MO was or whatever. They're firing pucks so low on him on every opportunity, partial breakaways, shots in tight, shots from the slot, a lot of low shots, and then finally when they had opportunities to go up high, they elevated too high. And you're talking with Huss about that on the lock shop. It's just like hit the damn net, and so that's why I bring up McDavid's. Maybe we shouldn't have won Game 6 against Dallas, and maybe we should have won this game.
Yeah, when that Hyman backhand went over the net, you're like, what is going on here?
Usually buries those.
Exactly.
And not a jokingly, Hork would bury that, as Rob Tychkowski likes to put out. But, like, in all honesty, Zach Hyman usually buries those.
Oh, that was a Titch joke for a long time, wasn't it?
Hork usually buries that.
Hork usually buries that. Man, Titch is such a dick, but I love him.
It's the best.
I love him. He's one of my favorite people,
so
man. He just is. He's one of my favorite people. Yeah. All right, you can hit us up, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. What's your feeling heading into the game tonight? 780-218-9999. Huntorio Momes is in and says, see, that's what I'm talking about. Huntorio Momes texts in and says, maybe that wasn't the Panthers' best game because they haven't played a team as good as Edmonton yet. Which they haven't. Nothing against the Rangers.
No.
But the Panthers and the Oilers are the two best teams in the National Hockey League, in my opinion. So they are now playing the other team that would be described as the best team in the National Hockey League. And I was very impressed by the Oilers in Game 1, man.
So was I.
That looked like a team, that did not look like a team that's playing in the Stanley Cup Final for its first time together and everybody, I didn't think they did at least. I thought they looked like they belonged, man.
And when they got scored on, they didn't cower or get down on themselves. They attacked. They went back hard at the Panthers. They did have a couple of lulls, and as Belzy, it was after you had left, I think it was later in the second period, where Belzy's like, oh, they're in their lull, and Belzy was alluding to, we see it all the time, like they generally have that 5-minute span in games where the other team pushes back, and that's kudos to the Panthers, obviously taking advantage of what they could and generating a little bit of momentum, but Edmonton, for the most part, held the fort. And I thought the Panthers were really strong in the first 8 minutes of the third period too. So there was pushback from Florida, even though Edmonton was dictating the pace. And I think we can all agree on that. And then at the end of the day, it's just a couple of goals, a couple of breakdowns. I know the margin for error is so small in the Stanley Cup Final against the best team out of the East in Florida. And two mistakes are ultimately a compounding of mistakes in two situations led to those two goals against, and then the empty net or whatever with 5 seconds left.
Rick Brown over on the Nasty Chat today. Oh, Rick, you are hilarious. Canucks are better than the Oilers with a healthy Demko and Besser and Pettersson. Vancouver wins that series in 6. But they
Are we still talking
but they didn't. And that's a wild thing to me. That's
we did get a lot of Canucks fans in the Nasty Chat post game. Still bitter.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm very impressed by how sad they are. I'm not talking sad, Moby sad, just sad as a fan base. I'm very impressed.
We're not going to Luke Gazdick you guys.
I will. Just move on. Just move on. Go enjoy the rest of your life until they get eliminated in the first round next year. Maybe the second round again. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like just go about your business. It's not even like they were eliminated last round. They were eliminated 2 rounds ago, and they're still lurking. Like I said, I'm impressed with them. They're like cockroaches, right? I've never seen a cockroach. I mean, to be honest with you, in person, I've never seen a Canucks fan admit to being one either. But they don't go away. They should be very proud of their ability to just hang around and continue to annoy you. So well done, man. Canucks fans, well done. Like, that's great. I mean,
You get Luke Gazdick in hot water from calling you guys out. Oh, man.
Yeah, it was.
Gaz is...
No, but he's not even. He was never doing the final panel anyway.
Right.
And they're trying to take credit and be like, "Look at that, take that, Luke.
We
Come
did
on,
it
guys."
to Luke Gazdick.
It's a little sad. It's just a little sad.
Yeah.
All right, so you can hit us up at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up over in the Nasty Chat. Hammer that thumbs up as well. We're going to talk about some changes here. Like, from an Oilers perspective, we'll get to the personnel changes in a second. Sure. Florida's going to hit. Matt, like I was saying to Belsey, I don't know if you were there yet. Yeah, you got there shortly after the game, right?
Yep.
Like right before it began. I was saying, when Florida doesn't have a puck, it's loud. Because every single one of their guys crashing into the boards every single time. Like, they got to be one of the only teams in the league that has so many bumps and bruises caused by themselves because they are just going and going and going and going. With that being said, I thought the Oilers handled that very well. I like the addition to throw a bigger body in the back end tonight. We'll get to that in a second. We'll hear what Desharnais had to say today. But if you're the Oilers right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, text us at 780-218-9999 or in the Nasty Chat here as well. I see Joelle says she has Gazdick tied up in her bed right now. She loves Gazdick.
He's a good man.
To be honest with you, Joelle, that's creepy though. But I'm like, I don't think the Oilers in a lot of other series along the way here I've gone, they need to be more physical. They need to be more physical. They need to be more physical. I don't necessarily think coming out of game one that I'm sitting there, they have to match them physically because I thought they were able to take advantage of the overcommitment to physicality sometimes from the Panthers to give themselves some pretty good looks that they just didn't bury. Like it's all of the different storylines we can talk about, Tommy. It all comes back to the fact that they got 18 grade A scoring chances, only gave up 6, and Bobrovsky stopped all 18 of them. Like, what else are you supposed to do? So I guess what I'm saying is, personnel-wise, I see why you would make some changes, but from a style perspective, I'm not changing anything in that game.
No, same mentality, and then maybe they get to Bobrovsky. And, Belsey did make a couple of really good points. One was they just need to get a goal on Bobrovsky in the dying minutes, even though it was likely they were going to lose and whatever. And just for the mentality standpoint. So I think an early goal tonight, sometime in the first period, would be fantastic. Hopefully, if you're an Oilers fan, it's for the lead. The hitting and the physicality of the Florida Panthers, I think I'm looking at the game stats now, and I think they may have adjusted it, but I thought Florida, right after the game when I was reading out the stats, I think they were over 60 hits officially. They've got it down to 57 to 32 in favor of the Panthers. But it didn't seem to me like Edmonton got out-muscled in any part of that game.
No.
Like, sure, like you said, a lot of banging and crashing, and they're going to finish your hits, but it seemed like the Oilers were okay with that, and they weren't getting blown up.
If they get taken out of their game or off of their game because Florida is bullying them physically, then I'd probably have a different. I'd be like push back, but they weren't. They weren't. I thought they handled it well.
Exactly. So if Florida's laying on upwards of 60 hits again, and Edmonton gives 32 out like they did the other night, I still look at that and go, well, it wasn't really affecting Edmonton's game. Or where you're like, oh boy, Edmonton's got to match the physicality. I didn't think so, and I didn't see it pop up a lot in the Nasty Chat. And then the other thing too with Belsey was like, at no point did I feel like the Oilers were getting out-muscled in that game.
No. I mean, Florida was trying harder to be more physical, but I didn't think they backed down because, oh my God, Florida's so physical. What are we going to do? So I think that's a positive coming out of game one.
Florida did try to get into McDavid and Draisaitl's grill as the game progressed, though.
Yeah, well, and they're going to do that.
Forced scrums and all
should
of
do
that. And I don't think it had that much of an effect, but you start to notice it as the game wore on that they were creating some scrums and being spit disturbers, if you will.
All right, so when you look at the game, we know the Oilers could not find the back of the net. The Panthers, did they get a couple by Skinner? First one, Nurse takes the guy.
Yeah.
Ceci tries to go over, take the middle guy. Pass still gets to the middle guy. Barkov throws it across. Hyman just some forward had to have the guy going to the net, right?
Yeah.
So Nurse and Ceci on the ice for that one. Don't necessarily blame those two guys for it.
Belsey said it was played right. It was just late getting to.
Yeah, like when Nurse
the guy.
commits over to the board, Ceci has to take the other guy coming through,
Yes.
and then the weak side winger has to be, or the center, one of
Has
those
to
two
be
guys
there.
has to pick up the guy going to the net.
I think
so
Ceci was slow getting to his guy, and then I believe it was Hyman slow getting to his
it was
guy.
it was Hyman,
Gave
yeah,
that little window of opportunity
for a
but
really good look. For a really good
goes
look, and
in.
they bury
Yeah,
it.
first shot.
Second one, Ceci just gets beaten to a puck in behind the net, thrown out front. Nurse kind of, and he did nothing, and then it's buried
Kane
as well.
was slow getting
Kane was
back
slow
as
getting back
well.
to his guy, too.
And then on the entry, I think it was McLeod that was taking a little bit of heat. And so as Matt Cassian likes to say, and as Belsey pointed out on the postgame show the other night, a bunch of mistakes, compounding mistakes is the term Cass uses. That's what led to that goal. And there were not that many texts saying, "Oh, Skinner's got to have that." I don't know, man. Those are good looks by guys who can bury, and you can't give those opportunities up. I mean, Rodriguez was like bam, bam, top shelf, and then Verhaeghe's just an excellent goal scorer, and he gets him second to be in alone like that with an opportunity to make a play, and he just converts. So I'm not putting that on Skinner. I know that's not going to be a topic, but I know it was brought up a little bit on the Hangout, so just leave it like that, and that's how it was addressed on the postgame show.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. McDavid and Draisaitl won't be bullied. They aren't Hughes and Pedersen. That text from Gazdick. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's not from Gaz. So somebody else who didn't have their name. It's from a 403 number. So that's probably somebody from Calgary who's deciding to get in and chirp as well. And Huntorio Mom says Florida is the smallest and lightest team that they have played all playoffs. They are very aggressive physically, for sure. Tyler and Terwilliger. Carrick in for Perry, and this is their best possible lineup. Also, Tommy the Wrench, I met Paul at Hammy's going back to Australia party.
Nice.
And I just want to ask, how does it feel to be the second best looking Gazzola brother?
I don't know.
This
I've never been.
This has been a paid ad by Paul Gazzola.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Did you say, I don't know, I've never been?
Yeah.
Your other brother was at
Mike.
He was at Hudson's on Saturday night, yeah.
He came to town. My grandma's going back to Poland today, actually.
Okay.
So he came
Family
to see
thing.
her. Yeah, family thing. And he came to the football game. And then he wanted to go watch the game with his buddies. Big thanks to Steve at Hudson's Bourbon Street.
Good time at
for
Bourbon
hooking
Street,
that up.
Hudson's. Yeah.
He had a great time both at the football game and then watching the game, saying hi to everybody.
Okay, yeah, good.
So that's my other brother, Mike, that
Yeah.
lives in Calgary. And he does.
Also an attractive man. I mean,
Wow.
not as sexy as you, Tommy.
Thank you.
but also a good looking
Paulie's
dude.
offended too. Actually, Mike's he's an awesome guy. He's and people are like, "Hey, is that your brother on the radio in Calgary?" Yes, that's him. He's on City News. He's a news.
Oh,
anchor
is he doing that
producer,
down there now? Okay.
Yeah, he was like an actor.
Yeah, he was doing the acting
He's
thing.
been in a bunch of shows and Hallmark movies, and then he went back into broadcast, which I was surprised by, and he's done really well. And he's become very good friends with Patrick Bartholomew Steinberg.
Really?
Yeah, they've kind of. I forced it on Pat, but Patty's like, I see him all the time.
Oh yeah, they're both Rogers guys.
Take him out. Yeah, they're in the same building. So
Yeah.
my brother is like, that Pat Steinberg's a funny guy. I'm like, imagine Nielsen, but in Calgary. He's like, he's a beauty. I'm like, yeah.
All right, let's transition to tonight's game. Of course, the portions of the Oil Stream for a long time now brought to you by our great folks over at Popeyes. If you've not yet tried that crispy chicken buffalo wrap, you want to get your hands on that. 2 classic hand-battered and breaded mild chicken tendies with bold buffalo sauce paired with fresh lettuce, tomato, mild or spicy mayo wrap, and a soft flour tortilla available in-store or via delivery. So you don't even have to go out tonight. Get that Popeyes delivered in. I'm sure Furby's somewhere right now, and he's one of the guys who owns all the Popeyes. I'm sure Furby's curled up in the fetal position somewhere ahead of game 2 tonight.
Yeah.
He's got to be. He's a huge Oilers
Like,
fan.
huge.
He's. I bet you he's not working today.
He's been a Copper Jacket since like he was 16, probably.
Yeah,
Like,
this guy came out of the womb covered in orange and blue.
yeah.
It's gross, but it's the
weird.
truth. Anyway, hit up
Huge
Popeyes
Oilers.
for lunch if you still want to eat, I guess. All right, so changes coming down the pipe tonight. We were talking about Drager this morning on the Nielsen show. He goes, a couple weeks ago I had that tidbit about the roster. I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, I strongly believe Desharnais will be coming into the lineup. Now, he was floating around 11-7, which means, and Dregs wouldn't just float 11-7 unless they told him we might consider 11-7 briefly.
And it could be used as misdirection.
Classic misdirection move.
Classic.
But Desharnais in, Ceci out. I think most of us think this is the right move to make. Mm-hmm. What do you expect? We know Nurse and Ceci doesn't work. I was surprised. Were you surprised they went back to that in game one?
But I was like, why?
But he's pushed all the right buttons, but the one button that he keeps coming back around to is the wrong button. It's like Nurse and Ceci together. Boom. It just doesn't work.
Reminiscent of Janmark top line with McDavid, game 1, Vancouver.
Yeah, where you're like, what's that about?
And he stuck with it. And same thing, they stuck with it. And it wasn't particularly good. Obviously, 2 goals against. I was surprised. I didn't love it. And the other thing, too, is like, you just won 3 in a row against Dallas. And you did it with Broberg and Kulak. And you had, Kulak up with Nurse, Ceci with Broberg. And
they were both better pairs than the other pair.
And then, so whatever data, whatever information they had suggested to them that Nurse and Ceci somehow was the right thing to do. But it was a bad gamble.
Wherever they're getting their data that would ever suggest those 2 guys should play together in the playoffs again, if it's on like a laptop like this, they should take the laptop and throw it off the top of Rogers Place so it smashes into smithereens so they'll never see those numbers again.
Or I catch it and steal it and take it home.
I mean, a laptop's a laptop.
And I'll mine the information for all of us to take advantage of.
I don't know what data could tell you. I mean, all the data, all the data says with that pair is they suck.
Yes,
like together they suck. Apart, they're not bad, but together they suck. So I don't know what would drive them back because the data. If you're looking at the data, it just you bring up the website, you bring up your machine, you go, let's see and it just says they suck. It doesn't even have the numbers anymore. It just says they suck.
They suck.
Do not do. Yeah, so I don't know why they were together in game 1. It's weird to me, but
I was blown away by it. Obviously, they're getting away from it, understandably so, and then they get a do-over and. We've seen the Oilers in this situation where they make a mistake lineup-wise. And there's only been a few, but they got burnt on this one. Let's see how Desharnais and Nurse look. And there have been times where Desharnais and Nurse have looked just fine.
A lot of time, actually. Yeah. No, I have not minded that. I just saw it against Dallas. Dallas was too quick of team for Desharnais. I think the way that Florida plays...
If they want to play rough and tumble, that's Vinny Desharnais.
For him, right?
That's fine for him.
All right, you know what? Let's hear what we got. Desharnais and Nurse here. Let's hear what they had to say. If you are watching the Oil Stream right now over on YouTube, let's hammer the thumbs up today as the Edmonton Oilers look to take Game 2 tonight. We will have your GCL Diesel pregame show with handsome Tom Gazzola here at we're at 55 likes. This is a 100-like show right here.
Let's go.
So hammer those thumbs up for us over on YouTube. That would be great. GCL Diesel pregame show gets rolling tonight, 4:30. Hudson's on White Ave. Place is going to be packed. I'd call ahead and get a table.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
On Saturday.
Bourbon Street was packed. It was standing room only. Belzy was taking IDs at the door. This one girl comes up. She gets her and I don't understand. I don't want to like be the guy today that says, why are so many of us so stupid as humans? But like you walk in, you almost have to walk around the sign. Like when you walk into Hudson's on Bourbon Street, there's a huge sign right here that says, please grab a seat.
Yep.
It can't be any more obvious. You don't know how many people. I was only sitting there for a period and a half. You don't know how many people came in and were just like, either went up to Belzy and me and was just like, do you have a table? And we're just like, I said we should start charging cover.
Yep.
Be like, yeah, wait in line,
$5.
but give us $20. And then the one time this girl gets out her ID, like holds it over to Belzy. Belzy kind of looks at it and kind of looks at her and goes, but there's a sign right there, like from me to you away, that says, grab a seat.
This is my plight every time I'm there.
I don't understand how people can't come in, see the sign that says grab a seat, and then just go grab a seat.
The best is when they come in and I'm literally on the air with the light that says on air, and they see these huge lights on us, and they start talking to me, and they yell, hey, where can I sit? It looks pretty full. I'm like, I'm on the air, you idiot.
I don't like...
I'm doing radio right now with a camera.
I want to be in their spot where I walk in and see if I'm like so overwhelmed by the situation that I miss the 3-foot by 3-foot sign right in front of me that says grab a seat. Like, I want to know if I walk in, if I would do the same thing if I didn't know what was going on. I don't think I would. I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination. But when you walk in and you see a place is full, you look and you go, oh, there's a sign. Right? Like, it's actually in the way. It should probably be placed somewhere else. It's like that obvious.
Come on in. Grab a seat right in front of you. I love how you got a small taste of it.
My God.
It's every time I'm there. And, like, listen, yeah, let's just leave it at that. The staff is excellent. They come and they help people out.
They're great. I mean, the whole staff there is great.
They look around and they look at everything but the sign that's right in front of them that says, come on in, grab a seat.
It's so insane. I just don't get it. Anyway, you know what's not insane?
What?
Desharnais getting in for game 2. Here's Vincent and what he had to say earlier on today down in Florida.
What are we kind of looking forward to?
Yeah, obviously it's pretty exciting to play in the Stanley Cup Finals. I was ready the last 4 games to play, and tonight I'll be in. I'll be ready, and I'll just do my job.
What did you see from Florida from the press box?
I thought it was a fast-paced game. I thought it was back and forth. It was a really fast game, and obviously they were physical, but I thought we played a pretty good game, and obviously we can't win without scoring any goals, and I don't think we got to change much. I just think we got to stick to our game, and I believe that when we play our best 60, we can beat any team, and that's what we'll try to do tonight.
How do you and Darnell complement each other? You guys have played together.
Twin towers. I mean, two pretty long sticks, and I think when we work together, we communicate well. I think we make a very good pair. We're hard to play against, and we try to be as physical as possible.
Does this make it easier to come back in? At least you played with Darnell before. If you had not played with Darnell in the regular season, it might be a little more difficult.
I mean, at this point, I feel like when you hang out with all your teammates for so long, at some point you kind of develop a chemistry, even though you haven't played with them. But obviously, when you've played with them, and there's some familiarity over there, so so we've built a pretty good relationship. So I'm pretty excited to play with them.
What was it like watching?
It sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks, but. It's I just try to learn as much as I can, and just try to see the small details that can make a difference in my game that I can improve on. And obviously, when you have a 6D man out there like hers that played so great for 4 games, I definitely learned.
Vinny, I think was asked about you yesterday, I think it was, not being in the lineup, but he said that Vinny's being positive and upbeat, and it seems like whoever gets taken out, they're not happy, as you said, it sucks, but everyone is looking at the bigger picture and staying positive and being a big part of the team moving forward.
I think it's a reason why the team is here right now is because I think everyone kind of accepts their role, and the roles are changing throughout the playoffs, and whether it's a guy like Corey Perry who's played over 1,000 games, or whether it's me who's played just a little bit over 100 games, you just got to take your role, and it's more than one player here. It's about the Edmonton Oilers, and we're trying to win a Stanley Cup, and whatever the coach thinks is best for the team tonight happens, and I think everyone takes it pretty positively. And it sucks. Everyone wants to play, but there's only 18 spots, and whoever's in is going to be ready.
Then you mentioned the physicality. Do you think you're kind of tailor-made for this series? Florida seems to get it on the forecheck, and you can kind of counter that a little bit.
We'll see tonight.
Yeah.
Do you've taken the long road here, man. You're showing up late to the NHL in your life, and here you are. You're stepping into a Stanley Cup Final game. Is that maybe let us in a little on, the accomplishment?
It's definitely something I'm proud of, and I think I've had my moment to kind of enjoy it and kind of sink it in after Game 6 against Dallas, and talked about it with my family and my friends, and it was really cool to kind of talk about it. But I'm not here just to come to the finals. I want to win, and have a job to do, and as much as I will enjoy it, I got to stay dialed in, and I got to be sharp tonight.
I know you're close with your brother. What kind of advice did you give?
He didn't give me any advice. He was just really happy. He just texted me. He goes, "I'm so proud of you." So yeah, that's all I need.
All right, there you go. A little family love for Vincent Desharnais. What do you? I'll move this for you, Tommy.
I didn't even.
There. I
didn't
know. I
even
thought you were going
notice
to lose
it.
your mind on me. What do you see? What does Desharnais need to do to be successful tonight?
Just be steady, be solid, play with a little bit of fire. If he can lay the body, great, but don't do it to the detriment of the team defensively. Like, don't go out of your way to make a hit if you don't need to, and then eliminate any mistakes or don't let mistakes compound. That's what he needs to do to be better than Cody Ceci, and that's what the Oilers need right now. The margin for error, like we've said, is very, very small, and he needs to just put together a really solid 15 to 18 minutes, whatever he's going to wind up with. And I think if Edmonton offensively can get going, that should be a recipe for success. So a thing I like about his demeanor in this, too, is, he's not just happy to be there. He says, I want to win. And he's had experience in this postseason, and he kind of has an idea of what to expect. And I'm sure he's going to be amped up, but this isn't a guy that should have a situation where he's overwhelmed or anything like that. So this is good. It looks like he's eager to get back in and also doesn't want to lose his spot in the lineup. And if he plays well, he probably won't be the guy getting pulled unless he has a tough go tonight.
Okay, so this blue line's interesting. So Desharnais expected to come in. Last game, Bouchard played 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Got some power play time, obviously, in there. If they get that many power play chances again tonight, they're scoring a goal.
But they need to adjust, and I think they probably.
In what way? What's the adjustment? I'm just curious.
Florida was super aggressive. You'd have one guy, at least this is what I was noticing when Florida was killing, was one guy right on top of the puck carry immediately.
Like the Oilers penalty kill.
Yeah, and then the second guy as like a secondary layer was right behind. So it was almost like they took away the time and then tried to close off passing lanes. So, I mean, it's on Edmonton probably to have better movement, quicker movement, and not wait. And then if Florida is rushing two guys or one guy with the other guy in a bit of a delay situation, then you're obviously going to have another guy that's wide open that if you can find him and make that one pass to open up an odd man opportunity down low or somewhere in the zone, especially in the slot, then you're looking at a great chance. And if Edmonton can adjust and create those opportunities, I like their chances of taking advantage and scoring in those chances.
All right, so in game one of the Stanley Cup Final, a 3-0 loss, Bouchard 27-17, Ekholm 18-57, Broberg, third most time on ice, 17-55, Kulak 17-08, Ceci 17-19, Darnell Nurse 16-09.
Yes.
Sixth most minutes among all defenders. Tommy, what's going on here?
He has not had a good playoffs, and that has continued. And that's why before we got the tweets from Shoggy and everybody that's down there saying that it's Nurse with Desharnais and it looks like Ceci's out, I was listening to you guys on the morning show on my way in, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Darnell didn't play a lot. He played the least amount. And I'm like, I wonder if they won't. It was a fleeting thought. But that is super notable that he did play the least amount of minutes on the back end. He's supposed to be your number 2 D-man. Now, he's been passed, obviously, by Bouchard. Bouchard's put together a phenomenal postseason. Great job on his part. Ekholm has been excellent, as expected.
Ekholm's as steady as you can
He's
get.
your number 1. Bouchard's your number 2. And I know some people are like, well, Bouchard's played so well, maybe he's your number 1 right now. Sure, whatever, interchange them. That's fine. That's your top pair.
They're your 1-2.
Yeah, exactly. And then Darnell Nurse is supposed to be that anchor on the second pairing. Your third best guy. He's been in the league for 10 years. You should be able to rely on him. And he hasn't been. Outside of one game, when he got called out, fans, media, whatever, short answered us that one day, and whatever, who cares? He had a decent game that night. Good for him. But since
that was his best game of the playoffs.
Sure. But since then, it hasn't been particularly great. We've given him, I remember post-game, I think it was game 5, and even game 6, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So did Cass. And it was because they were winning. And I think that made things easier. Now they lose one. That pairing, him and Ceci, for whatever reason, being stuck together again, they're on the ice for those goals. And then you look at his minutes, that's a tell. And I know there was a text that came in earlier on the Hangout asking if he's hurt. I'm sure he's nicked up, but I don't think he's dealing with a torn hip flexor like he was before in the postseason. So right now, I just think he's playing bad.
We're going to hear what he had to say today, Zach. You can get that ready. I just, so he was getting torched after Game 3 of the Dallas series.
Understandable.
And it was like I said this today. I know I had that clip of our show where I basically said he was single-handedly costing them a chance at the Stanley Cup. And at that point, I stand by everything I said. He has the second worst plus-minus among defensemen in the history of the National Hockey League playoffs right now. I think it's Paul Reinhart. It was texted in earlier. Reinhart was at minus 16 in one season. Nurse is at minus 15. So, obviously that time, everything that the media was saying about him pissed him off because he came out and short answer, whatever.
Fine.
But what I wanted, but he responded with a great game.
Sure.
So
yes.
Your coach plays all other 5 defensemen more than you in Game 1 of your first Stanley Cup Final game. That should piss you off more than anything that anybody can say about you, ever. Is there a response game tonight coming from Darnell Nurse?
I hope so. But the data, the eye test, his body of work this postseason would suggest no. Unless somebody, Paul Coffey, whatever, walked up to him and said, get your ass in gear because you're slipping the way you did earlier in the playoffs. Media's not here. You're not going to be able to short answer them and tell them, I'll show you tonight. Maybe, you've already used that bullet. So get your head out of your ass. And I'm sure he's nicked up at some point, somewhere, but I don't think it's as bad as it's ever been. And then asking people around the team, they're like, no, I don't think he's hurt.
Yeah. All right, well, here's Darnell Nurse earlier today, the morning of Game 2 of the Coupe de Stanley.
In a lot of ways, is it trying to replicate what you did the other night, or do you think there's some areas that you can maybe try and add?
Yeah, I think we defended pretty well last game, to be honest, and there was obviously not a lot of. It didn't feel like there was a lot of zone time sustained against, so that's got to continue. I think for us to play at the top of our game, it's having the puck on our stick, playing with our speed, getting down to the O-zone. So there was things to like, but obviously we didn't get the result that we want. So there's room for improvement.
Changes happen in the playoffs sometimes. We've seen it already with this team. Looks like perhaps Cody isn't going to play tonight. What have you seen from guys that are coming and going from the lineup? How do you think Cody would handle that?
Yeah, obviously everyone that's stepped in has stepped up and played really well coming into the lineup for our group throughout the lineup, forwards, the goalies. So for Ceci, such a big part of this group. He's such a big part of why we're here. He's been such a good player for us for so long, and that confidence that he has can't waver because we're going to need him again.
You played with Vinny before, so what's good playing with him on your side?
Yeah, obviously he's got the long stick. He plays aggressive, very good defensively. Good communication out there too. So there's we play together a little bit over the course of the playoff run and in the regular season. So I think we have a good feel for each other and can be very effective out there when we're on our game. So tonight's it's a fun time to do it again.
You guys are a good cycle team, and you guys did a great job of breaking the cycle. What was the key to that last game and doing it tonight?
I think our feet and our feet and our physicality, just getting in there and trying to break it up. Obviously, it's a team that plays very heavy. They attack, they like to hold on to the puck and be physical. But for us to get in there and break up that cycle, we got to bring a little bit of that element ourselves. So I thought we did a good job of that in Game 1. Like I said, they're going to ramp up their game here in Game 2, and we got to ramp up ours too.
Also speaks to the depth around you a little bit here, Darnell. Like at one point, you had a 20-goal scorer not playing here. There are good players all over the place waiting to get into the lineup, and that's maybe part of being a cup contending team.
Yeah, you're playing at this time of the year for a reason, and you have depth and strength throughout the lineup, guys that can step in and make impacts right off the hop. So yeah, it's an important part, especially at this time of the year.
For your game, how do you think went for you in game number 1, and what do you kind of look to try to improve on or do in game number 2 here?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot against, but the chances that we're against were either grade A's or a pretty good chance. So just sticking to the process of it. I think if you're playing your game most of the night, I think it took me probably a little bit to get into it, from the physicality standpoint and moving my feet. So that's got to start from the jump.
All right, there you go. That's Darnell Nurse. Tell me what you take away from there.
Well, it was interesting to hear. He's like, well, it didn't feel like we had a lot of zone time against us. Yeah, good point. And if you look at the goals that they scored while he was on the ice, one was off the rush and another one was a chip and chase.
Yeah.
Good job. And DVD throughout you guys were defending the cycle well. And, he took that and he answered it. Good job. Yes. Kudos. You did good for most of the night, but it was those two portions of the game where there were mistakes made off of a rush, off of a chip and chase. Don't let that happen again.
The Gourd Father, not to be confused with the Godfather, who also texted in, but the Gourd Father says, Nurse was more the issue on goal 2 than Ceci last game. If he wasn't wearing an A and making $9 million, he's the one to come out. What do you think about that? Like, if he made $5 million and wasn't a member of the core, do you think he would have come out?
It would make it way easier.
To take him out. Oh, yeah, 100%.
It would make it way easier. And you think, too,
I still don't
it's the
think they would've
Stanley
taken him
Cup
out,
Final. In theory, if you want to send a message, that would be a hell of a message to send. But another message to a guy like that, core guy, leader on the team, big paid, all that stuff, is he played the least out of every defenseman, and he knows full well he did, and he knows why. So use that as motivation. That was good. That interview, him not being a poopy pants, was great. Now go play a better game. Do not make mistakes.
Bobby LaFrench texts in at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That's a text line over here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For your information in French, and he's Bobby LaFrench.
So he knows.
Yeah, he says, Dusty, for your information in French, it's Le Coupe Stanley, not Le Coupe de Stanley. My
Did you
bad.
drop
my
a
bad.
de in there?
I said Le Coupe de Stanley, which I think would mean the Cup of Stanley.
But it was
as opposed
his.
to the Cup Stanley. But it came from him, right?
It did.
It was the Cup of Stanley.
So for like splitting hairs.
Are you arguing with Bobby LaFrench right now?
Unfortunately, I was in French immersion till 11th grade. Now I was.
Were you really?
Yeah.
But you don't talk about it all the time like somebody else.
No, because I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
My mom and dad made me take French. They're like, you need
to.
So
are you fluent in French?
Not really anymore. But I understand it better than I can speak it. But Bobby LaFrench, come on, give it to him. He's trying here. Yeah.
I'm gonna test you right now.
Sure. Test me. I'll probably fail, but it is fun. Like when you go to Quebec and they speak French, and you can kind of
understand.
And then you're there for a couple of days, and you start picking it up again. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is fun. So yeah.
I want to try. Let me see if I can find something here for you.
What?
Man, I want to. Doesn't Google have a translate?
Can I get to something?
Yeah,
here?
go ahead. Yeah,
Phil C keeps bringing up the goalie equipment. I don't know if you're just Phil C. I don't know if you're being serious or not, or if you're going at it with Sergei Bobrovsky in the nasty chat. But Phil C has asked about Florida's goalie gear being too big a few times. You know that the league checks all this stuff like all the time.
His upper body is not like there's nothing up here.
He's a skinny
like,
guy. Yeah. Kay Whitmore, I think, has to sign off on literally sign the gear.
I love the fact that we're still talking about Kay Whitmore. Just like
Best
as a throwback
obscure
goalie. Yeah.
Canucks backup in 90s history.
Oh, that'd be great for that puck doku.
It would
Kay
be.
Whitmore.
He's a good one. And he was a Hartford
He was a Hartford Whaler, too. I was going to say, where else did he play? Vancouver, Hartford?
I think Calgary.
Kay Whitmore playing Calgary?
Maybe. Okay, let's take a look. What a name, though.
All right, so here you go, Tommy. Tell me what this means in English.
Okay.
Tommy LaFrench.
Yeah.
Darnell Nurse, doit allure mais ce soir.
Say it again.
Darnell Nurse, doit allure mais ce soir.
Doit aller mais ce soir. Needs to be better tonight.
Oh, word for word.
Yeah.
My man. Well done,
Nicely done on the change up there.
Well done. All right, so this guy does know French. That's pretty impressive, buddy. That's pretty impressive stuff. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
That's real nice.
Yeah,
real nice.
good.
All right, let's get to our hole-in-one contest. Zach can bring up the. Let's do this. It is the hole-in-one contest with Golf Town. It's very easy. If you're listening online right now at Edmonton Sports Talk or TuneIn or iHeart, you can text this number in. If you're watching over on YouTube. You can text the number in or text the word in as well. Today's keyword for the $100,000 hole-in-one contest, which is brought to you by Golf Town and will be happening out at the Ranch Golf and Country Club on July 3rd. Swing big this Father's Day and find dad or yourself the perfect gift at Golf Town. Whether he's a seasoned pro or just starting out, Golf Town has everything he needs to hit the greens in style, from clubs and apparel to accessories, tech, and more. They've got it all covered. Not messing around either. Going to Golf Town. Anything you need, golf-related, Golf Town. They've got it. It's not called like maybe we have some stuff town.
They've got
It's Golf Town. I mean, everything is there. And get them a gift card. Hook that up with a gift card, man. You can go in and choose from any of the many brands they've got, the TaylorMades, the Callaways, the Nikes, the Garments. Father's Day, give the gift of golf. Visit them in store at golftown.com for more details. Today's keyword on the oil stream is Henderson. Henderson.
Ooh.
As in Brooke Henderson, I would think, or Henderson Golf Course, which is in Lethbridge.
Ah.
Probably not that Henderson, the other Henderson.
But Brooke Henderson.
Yeah. Henderson, as in Harry and the Hendersons. Henderson. Text Henderson right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Zach Dickham will draw one of your names. You will go into a draw with 3 others who all qualified today, and one of you will get a call or a text from us tomorrow morning, and your name will go into the mix. 25 people are going to have a swing at $100,000. Of course, if golfer number 4 gets the hole-in-one, the rest of you are screwed. If swinger number 15 gets the hole-in-one, the next 10 are screwed.
Yeah.
If somebody gets a hole-in-one, contest over. Imagine if we had 25 hole-in-ones.
We would not exist.
We would all have to run to a country that has no extradition.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how we would pay the 2.5 mil. That'd be tough. With that being said, all-time story.
Amazing.
If you want to see a guy melt down, get video on me after the second one goes in, let alone after 25. I mean, where is Dusty? He disappeared in the water off the 17th hole at the ranch and never came up. And we scraped the bottom. We can't find him.
He gone.
He's out.
He gone.
He's gone. It's done. All right. So text Henderson right now to 780-218-9999. Best of luck to everybody on that one. Clay is in and says, Dusty, all your Lethbridge references make me chuckle. As someone who grew up there, it hits home every time.
Nice.
Well job, sir. Yeah, I like Lethbridge. It was always a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. Let's get to a few more of your messages. Nasty Chat, obviously, flying along as well.
I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
It's from Robin. Says, Bob Bobrovsky falls over when he has to raise his blocker above his hip. Clearly, he doesn't strength train. Oilers need to take advantage of that.
Okay, now, did you not say earlier today? Or was it Eric?
I didn't. About what?
That the majority of the goals that go in on Sergei Bobrovsky are blocker side.
Yeah.
Like 2 feet and up.
That was Rick, because I haven't really talked. Because they had that stat with the percentages.
Yeah.
He's so good down low. And we saw him, the way he sprawled out in game 1 was phenomenal. But no, that was Rick for sure.
Is anybody sensing a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins blocker side goal tonight, maybe?
Oh. Is it sprinkled in cool?
I don't know. I'll get you the number on it right now.
Okay.
Let's get the number on a Nuge goal tonight. EST Parlay, they got a few exclusives for this game tonight. If you go to coolbet.com, their exclusive betting partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. I accidentally clicked on the NBA Finals. Gross for all of you Oilers fans right now. Player goals tonight. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to score a goal tonight. How many players have better odds than him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nuge to score tonight, plus 340 over at Coolbet. If you've not yet signed up for an account at Coolbet, use the code LOCKSHOP, all one word when you do, and you'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to 200 smackaroos. The EST Parlay right now is available on the exclusives page over at Coolbet. Plus 475 is the number. Connor McDavid over 1.5 points. Zach Hyman with a goal and the Edmonton Oilers to win tonight. That's it. That's all that you need. I haven't got on this yet myself. I'm going to do it right now. A
little sprinkle?
As we spin. Probably a little bit more than a sprinkle on this one, Tommy. Probably a little bit more than a sprinkle on a little bit. Let's
a placement.
It's there we go. Locked in. That easy. Boom. Just like that.
I like it.
Whew. I think there's actually let's see here. Lock Shop. Yeah, Nasty Chat Parlay. This was put together by our listeners on the Lock Shop today.
Sweet.
And then they throw it up. McDavid over 1.5 assists. Hyman over 2.5 shots on goal. Bouchard over 1.5 shots on goal. And that's 4-1. You know what, Tommy?
That hinges on
Sprinkle this a little bit too.
McDavid getting those 2 assists.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's happening.
You think Hyman's going to score tonight?
I like his chances.
I
he was around it a lot.
He was. He always is.
I think this type of series also suits him. He was good against Dallas. I think that the Canucks were very good at mitigating what Zach Hyman's strengths are, and that's the play around the net. Vancouver, with their sequoias as defensemen, as Belzy likes to say, were excellent at clearing out the front of the net. And in that third round, Hyman was much more effective, and I still think that he can be pretty effective in this one. Had a couple of great opportunities. I think that will continue, so I do like the chances of him scoring a goal.
Down 1-0. Is tonight must win for the Edmonton Oilers?
I don't want to say that. I really don't want to say that. But it's the Stanley Cup, and everything feels heightened, you know?
Yeah, so you think like a 2-0 lead in the Cup final is bigger than a regular 2-0 lead? Or do you think just the... because
outside forces would indicate yes, but
I genuinely
I'm going to say no, not must win.
Yeah, I genuinely believe, even if they lose tonight, I still think they can still win this series.
Yeah.
And I know the odds will say it's like a 15% chance if you're down 2-0, whatever. But I still think, unless you watch tonight's game and you're like, oh my God, they're a train wreck, then that'll obviously change things. But I just don't expect them to be. Like, so far in the playoffs, get rid of the Kings series, Game 4 against the Canucks, Game 6 and 7 against the Canucks, and then Game 4 against Dallas. Those are the 4 like close to must win or actual must win games for the Edmonton Oilers so far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they played extremely well in all of them.
Yep.
And they won all 4 of them. So they're a good bounce back team. They were the better team on the ice, in my opinion, in Game 1. I love them tonight. I'll be genuinely surprised if the Edmonton Oilers don't win tonight and aren't coming home with a split. I don't know if I've been as confident in them to get a win like as any game the whole playoffs. Like that's how much I think they get the job done tonight.
And they're not discouraged. That's the other thing too. You look at them, I'm looking for like cracks in their belief. Nothing. So that's good.
What say you? What's the prediction for tonight? 780-218-9999. Zacticum's got the poll up. Just threw it up 1 minute ago. 37 votes. Is tonight's game a must win? It's a sure you like to win, but I don't think like tomorrow morning. I'm not coming in here saying that they're down 2-0 series is over. No chance. Mm-hmm. No chance. Right now, 50. It's almost a 50-50 split. Yes, no on that one. Casino Dealer Jay says, I think Edmonton can win 2 in a row if they play well. I think even at their best, they won't win 3 in a row. I'm only scared if the Panthers go up 3-0 or 3-1. Vamp Fashions says, the Oilers never work hard enough to win a game after a week off the press telling them how great they are. It's a 40-year problem. And B Mother Review says 5-2 Oil. McDavid lights up Barkov tonight.
Ooh.
So you got that going for you as well. If you are watching over on YouTube, we are very close to 100 thumbs up. So hammer that thumbs up before we wrap up the show today. Tommy Gazzola, what time you guys get rolling with the GCL Diesel pregame show, which will be coming at you live from Hudson's on White tonight.
Yes, very much looking forward to get down to Hudson's White. Connor and the crew, excellent there. And we get going at 4:30. Looks like Dennis Bernstein will be joining us.
Was he down there?
He's down there.
What a wild card that guy is.
He's awesome. He's not going to be our Kings insider. He's going to be our Stanley Cup insider. So DB will be reconnecting with him, which will be fantastic. And then we'll hear from Matty Cassian as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, this show, and especially if the weather holds up, we get some sun. And they get those patios open. It looks so nice. We had a beautiful day there the last time we were on location. They had the big screen doors open, and I was kind of on the patio, but not really. And you could see the lights coming on at night. It was beautiful.
You were loving it.
So serene.
Well, that's real nice,
majestic.
Man. That's real nice.
Thank you.
This is blasphemous. I've already decided that if the series goes 7, I will not be coaching baseball that night because Game 7's a Monday.
Oh, yes.
If it goes 7, I'm sorry, baseball in Edmonton has to be canceled if the Oilers and Panthers are playing in a Game 7.
I understand.
I think I'm a good coach, but I'm bailing on the kids that night. It's just that simple.
Priorities.
So, but tonight I am coaching baseball, so we'll be on the PVR and be a little bit behind by the time Marcel and I get home until somebody freaking ruins it at ball
was
tonight.
that one guy?
But I can't get mad. I mean,
know.
it's a Stanley Cup Final. Somebody should bring a bloody TV and set it up at the Diamond tonight.
It's doable.
This is what happens when you commit to being one of the best damn U9 baseball coaches in the province.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud
All
of
I
you.
know is if our team doesn't win tonight, I'm ripping the Fireballs a new one. You think I came out here tonight to watch you bobble a weak-ass grounder to shortstop?
They're 8.
Hell no. Yeah, they're 7 and 8. Be better.
You are vicious.
Well, I mean, we're going to commit to it.
What happened
They better play
to you?
well.
Who hurt you?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to coach them, they got to step up. Sorry. Knoblauch probably says the same thing.
But they're not 7 and 8.
You gotta learn
you
at
give
some
them
point.
fruit snacks in between innings, don't
No,
you?
I don't. I give them pointers on how to swing the bat properly.
Oh, boy.
That's what I do between innings.
Wow.
All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. Brought to you in part by our partners over at Coolbet and Popeyes, and obviously the presenting sponsor. If you're looking for a place to go and watch the game tonight, we'll take the family, go with the boys, go with the crew. Boston Pizza is where you can get that done. Boston Pizza, presenting sponsor of the Oil Stream right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Have fun tonight, buddy.
Thank you.
Post
Looking
game
forward to it.
show is going to be fire one way or the other. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think the Edmonton Oilers win tonight 4-2 with an empty netter.
I like it. I'll
See
go
how it
with you on
goes.
that one.
See how it goes. For Zach to come lurking around over there and Tommy Gazzola, I'm Dustin Nielson. Nielsen Show replay coming up. Pre-game show, 4:30. Game 2 of Le Coupe to Stanley.
Oh, he did it.
He did
it.